You're watching South Florida's news station, WSVN 7. This is Today in Florida.
Police are calling it a racially motivated attack by women against women.
The world is mourning the loss of Michael Landon today.
And a suspected serial killer is going to court. Good morning. Danny Rollins will go before the judge today.
He is the prime suspect in the Gainesville student murders case. He's going to court in Tampa. This is not related to the Gainesville murders, but it could affect the case. A judge is expected to decide whether Rolling is mentally competent to stand trial on robbery charges. Rolling is accused of holding up a Tampa grocery store last September. Police say he also led a shootout against deputies during the robbery. His defense lawyers asked that he undergo psychiatric testing. Rolling is suspected of killing 5 students in Gainesville last summer. If he's ruled incompetent or insane, that could cause problems for prosecutors in that case. So far, no one has been charged for the Gainesville killings. A man charged with killing 2 students in Gainesville 2 months ago will be arraigned today. Alan Davis is accused on 2 counts of first-degree murder. Police say he strangled 2 University of Florida co-eds in their apartment after going there to clean the carpets. Davis told police he went into a rage after one of the women sprayed him with mace.
More obstacles are keeping the Kennedy rape case on a rocky course. William Kennedy Smith's lawyers ended up back in court yesterday. The judge has ordered Smith be retested for AIDS. Now, tests on his blood showed he does not have the virus, but apparently the blood sample test was no good. Well, yesterday, the judge closed the alleged victim's deposition to the media. She also ordered that Smith's lawyers not ask the woman questions about her personal life. These were all part of the judge's concerns over publicity in the trial.
I'm a little concerned about what effect that'll have on our ability to pick a jury from the publicity angle.
Attorneys will take the alleged rape victim's statement on July 18th. Smith's trial begins next month. A patient who got AIDS from a Florida dentist has vowed to continue the fight started by a fellow victim. Barbara Webb contracted the deadly disease from Dr. David Acker. He also gave the virus to Kimberly Bergalis, who is now near death. Webb says she will carry on Bergalis's campaign for doctors and dentists to undergo mandatory AIDS testing. Derek Hayward has more on that story.
I gave up one of the most joyous parts of my life, and I loved those students so much at Martin County High School that I couldn't wait to go in every day.
And before AIDS forced Barbara Webb to leave the students she loved, they showed how much they thought they were losing too by spending $1,000 to put a name on a star in front of a downtown theater.
I'm doing a television thing right now, and I was telling them about your documentary.
Now Barbara is becoming a real star.
Right up, Pat. Bye-bye, dear.
So that's the BBC?
Yeah.
You're talking to everybody. You're telling everybody about this.
Absolutely. Everybody in the world who will listen to me.
Barbara's not telling people about herself. She doesn't dwell on her own precarious future. It is her friend, Kimberly Bergalis, for whom she talks. Kimberly, dying from AIDS, also believed to have contracted it from the same dentist. Kimberly will not live much longer, and Barbara is carrying on Kimberly's fight.
Yes. When healthcare professionals subjected to mandatory testing, and that patients should be informed.
Whenever I have to give blood or have to do anything which might expose my blood to another person, that person knows.
And they can take
precautions. They can take precautions, or they can say no.
They can refuse to work.
Yeah.
And you didn't have that option.
I had no such option.
Well, Barbara, you're talking about invading my privacy.
Of course I am, because I'm talking about saving your life. And a bit of privacy lost just pales before the loss of a human life. You go and you look at Kim Bergalis, who can no longer speak, who can only moan a little, who can nod her head just a tiny bit. And unless you're made of stone, you will know I'm right.
In Stewart, Derek Hayward, Channel 7 News.
Dr. David Acker's estate is now being sued by another patient. Lisa Shoemaker of Michigan was treated by the dentist for 6 months while she lived here in Florida. She has tested positive for the AIDS virus.
One of America's favorite actors has lost his battle with cancer. Michael Landon died yesterday. Flowers were placed on Landon's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He died in his Malibu home with his wife and children by his side. Landon went public with his battle against pancreatic cancer in April. He even talked about it on The Tonight Show. The star first became famous for his role as Little Joe on the TV series Bonanza. He also appeared in Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven. Michael Landon was 54. A Texas mother who gave birth to a stillborn cocaine baby is going to jail. Tracy Jackson was convicted yesterday of cocaine possession. Doctors say her baby's liver was filled with cocaine, and an autopsy said there was enough to kill an average adult. She gave birth 2 years ago. Witnesses said she had been smoking at a Houston crack house just before she had the child. She was sentenced to 12 years in prison. Her lawyers say they plan to appeal.
More violence has been caught on videotape. This time, a group of black women can be seen beating white women in what is being called a racially motivated attack. It happened as thousands left a fireworks display at Detroit's Freedom Festival. An amateur cameraman caught the attacks on tape. In one, a group of black women kick and punch a fallen woman. In another attack, a 42-year-old woman is holding on to her purse and the hair of the young girl who police say tried to steal the bag. But the gang of girls step in. They hit the older woman with a handbag, throw something at her, and when she falls to the ground, they begin kicking her. The tape was shown on Detroit TV and viewed by the city's police chief.
And I viewed it for the first time this morning, and I was sickened by what I saw. And in the city of Detroit, in 1991, this cannot happen. It will not happen. It will not be tolerated.
Police say at least some of the women are in a gang called the Cross Connor Street Gang, and they are notoriously violent. Now, police have made several arrests in connection with the attacks. They're also checking on reports that officers did not initially help the victims. One woman says she believes the attacks were racially motivated because of comments she heard during the beating. 2 Texas men have been convicted for killing a police officer. Some of the murder was captured by a video camera in the officer's squad car. The men stabbed and then shot Constable Darrell Lunsford last January. Police say the officer pulled him over as they were trying to transport drugs. A third man in the car pleaded guilty and testified against the other men.
A wild plane ride from the Caribbean has left 6 people with bad bumps and bruises. American Airlines Flight 674 was on its way from San Juan to Newark, New Jersey when it hit a storm. The pilot flew through 2 hours of turbulence. Passengers said at one point the plane was out of control and baggage fell from the overhead racks. The pilot made a safe landing in Newark in spite of the rocky flight. Investigators want to know what caused a jet engine to explode into bits over San Francisco. The L-1011 was on a charter flight to Hawaii. Just minutes after it took off, one of its engines disintegrated. Debris from it broke a car windshield on the ground, but nobody on the ground got hurt. The pilot dumped the plane's fuel into the San Francisco Bay, then safely returned to the San Francisco airport.
Authorities in St. Louis are investigating a dangerous train derailment that left several cars hanging on the verge of an explosion. It happened yesterday near the famous Gateway Arch. Now, hundreds of people had to be evacuated when a train ran off the tracks. It was carrying explosive chemicals. Now, 4 of its cars were left hanging 70 feet above the ground. They were loaded with nitric acid and could have exploded on impact. The crews were able to take care of the situation before anything happened.
It's 10 after 8 right now. Still to come. Stick around.
We will have the naked truth about Naked Gun star Leslie Nielsen.
I'm Carmel Cafaro. Also coming up, credit unions. We'll show you why some consumers are making the switch when Today in Florida continues.
There are so many sides to Regis and Kathy Lee, there's just no telling which one you might see next. There's that one, and that one. Oh, and that one too.
And I don't think anybody is better at it.
She's right.
You just have to keep watching to catch them all. And on the next Live, thinking of renting a movie for the family tonight? We'll tell you the best ones to get. Johnny Gill will spill his heart and soul. And for what it's worth, Paul Harvey.
Live, Regis and Kathy Lee, today at 9 on WSVN 7.
The whole idea behind Chicken by George was to make an easy, great-tasting meal that was good for you. Well, to me, good for you means fresh, healthy, no preservatives, less than 200 calories. But what I keep hearing is how fast and easy they are, or they're just great for when my husband gets home late, or the kids get to pick their favorite, lemon herb or mesquite barbecue. You all have your own reasons why Chicken by George is good for you. And I say, good for you. Available fresh at Winn-Dixie.
On the next Joan Rivers, the South rises again with a salute to stars from the South. Southern belle Dixie Carter.
I think Southern women like their femininity.
And Golden Girl Rue McClanahan.
You're not dating?
Well, who said I was dating?
Well, yeah. 6 sailors.
Plus, country superstars Crystal Gale, KT Oslin, Garth Brooks, and Randy Travis.
Your heroes will help you.
The Joan Rivers Show, today at 10 on WSVN 7.
In Salisbury, Maryland, the hungry are being fed. In Wind Falls, Indiana, a man who learned to read at 47 is making sure others learn earlier. Every day, someone in America is doing something to light up another life. But there is so much more to do. The light to do it is within us all. We only need to share it. Call the Volunteer Center. Do something good. Feel something real.
It is 12 minutes after 8 right now, and time to check out that weather. Tom Burris has been watching the conditions go from wet to
soggy.
Soggy.
Yeah.
To wet.
My grass in the backyard's just up it goes, and
it's happy.
Yeah, but I've got a 5-gallon gas can full of gasoline, so we can mow all day if we want to. Let's see what's going on now. Just offshore, there are a couple showers out here. Also down around Cape Sable and back up the west coast a little bit. Other than that, in Dade and Broward County, a few sprinkles are falling now, and we're going to see the chance of rain staying likely today, so keep that in mind. Lower Keys, not much going on. Probably are a few sprinkles down here that just are not showing up on radar. Temperature-wise, very humid out there also. 77 Miami and Homestead, 83 degrees Key West, 80 degrees Hollywood and Fort Lauderdale, and 79 Plantation. Our winds are southwest at 3. Barometer going up. Humidity 94% and surf temperature at 85 degrees. Here's the big picture from up above. You can see a lot of cloudiness over Central America and Mexico. We have had hurricanes and tropical storms in the Pacific, but it looks fairly quiet out there right now. Over in our end of things, we are looking at a trough of low pressure in the Caribbean. Just a few showers and thunderstorms associated with it. And other than that, we have a fairly strong tropical wave that has come off of Africa. But the way the weather conditions are right now, don't expect anything with it as far as development is concerned. But right now, just a lot of clouds scattered across the southeast, and rain is in our forecast for today. You can see them showing up on Super Radar. The heaviest now from the mid-Atlantic coast back into the plains. The western part of the U.S. is fairly dry right now. Has some fog around L.A., also up and down the eastern seaboard, down into Dixie. We do have a lot of fog in this area also. Next 90 days, the outlook for the next 90 days for Florida is calling for the possibility that temperatures may average above normal with near normal rainfall. So we can take a little more heat if we can at least keep the rain coming. We're going to stay near 90 today. Very good chance for showers and thunderstorms developing. A little less of a chance in the Keys, but there will be a few out there. We're going to say showers and thunderstorms are likely today. A lot of cloudiness. Look for near 90 for a high. Tonight, partly cloudy, slight chance of a shower or storm. Look for low to mid-70s overnight. Back near 90 to 91 tomorrow. 50% chance for a shower or thunderstorm, mainly in the afternoon, and partly cloudy. Boating today, south-southwest winds. They'll increase to around 10 to 15 by this afternoon. Seas up to 2 to 3 and a light chop. Your high tide today at 12:25, and your sunset time at 8:16. So there you go. A few thunderstorms and showers again this afternoon. Charles?
Pack an umbrella, keep the top up, and prepare to mow the lawn. Thanks, Tom. Barron?
If you're thinking about opening up a new bank account, you may want to check out your local credit union. Channel 7's Carmel Cafaro reports you could find a bargain.
Good morning. Credit union membership is growing by about 5% a year. And the reason is simple. They can cost less to bank with and can offer loans with better interest rates. The key is membership. And those who belong say membership can have its privileges.
How do you do? How are you?
You may not get this kind of welcome at some banks, but Eastern Financial Credit Union President Arthur DeRusso says you'll get that kind of service here. And personal service and lower rates are what credit union customers say they like.
I come to this credit union because they get good service. They treat me real good.
It's safe and it's convenient.
Recent bank failures have jeopardized the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the government agency that insures them, forcing banks to pay 18% more to insure deposits, a cost most likely to be passed on to consumers. Eastern's DeRusso says that's making some banking customers consider switching.
We're two different agencies, we're two different types of financial institutions, and we're insured by the National Federal Credit Union Administration. You can't go to a bank with less than probably $500 as a deposit. In the credit union, it's $50 par value to become a member here. Try that in the bank.
To become a member, you must be eligible through work, where you live, or related to a member. Eastern Financial, for example, was started for employees of Eastern Airlines. People's Credit Union in North Miami opened to serve residents of Dade County. But before you switch to a credit union, consider the pros and cons. First, the pros: lower fees. 2/3 of credit unions offer free checking and almost always have the lowest monthly checking fees, an average $3.50 versus $6 for banks. They also tend to have better interest rates. An interest-bearing account can earn 6.1 versus 5.4%, and borrowers can pay an average rate of 15 versus 17% on loans. As for the cons, credit unions are less convenient. They tend to be small. Many only have one location. They often operate with restricted hours and are less likely to have automatic teller machines. Credit unions also do not offer commercial loans, so consumers should shop and compare to determine what kind of financial institution best meets individual needs. I'm Carmel Cafaro for Today in Florida.
It is 8:18, still ahead on Today in Florida. Who says you can't fight City Hall? Well, one little girl's not letting them dog her around.
And attention bargain shoppers, there's never been a better time to get those rock bottom prices. Stay tuned.
Toyota's July 4th weekend blowout means explosive deals, because double deal days means booming savings now and later with special holiday deals and red-hot values in America's lowest price sedan, plus blazing factory-to-dealer incentives and option package savings. Save when you buy and when you drive. See your Toyota dealer now during its July 4th weekend blowout. Save now. Save later during double deal days. Get them while they're hot.
What can you say about a woman who never finishes anything she starts?
Depression.
What can you say about a woman who's been a spectator all her life?
I can't swim. I'm addicted to nicotine.
Now it's her turn to sink.
Oh, come on, Mom.
Or swim.
She's going to be in the Hawaiian Triathlon. Not a chance. This is nuts.
Double the pain and she doubles the gain.
I love you.
Penny Marshall's about to re-enter the human race and make it the challenge of a lifetime.
Tonight on the WSVN 7 movie at 8.
Headlines from Cuba. When these men tried to kill Castro, we were the only South Florida station with the story.
They apply torture, pressure.
I'm Rick Sanchez. Things are changing in Cuba, and it could have a very real effect on all of us right here in South Florida. That's why we're monitoring the situation 24 hours a day, bring you the very latest from Cuba as it happens.
Rick Sanchez brings you Headlines from Cuba, only on Channel 7 News.
Vince, remember how we got our jobs telling people to buckle up?
Yeah, it seems just like yesterday.
Next.
To buckle or not to buckle?
Next.
The band.
Next.
We are never going to find a safety belt spokesperson.
Let's get buckled!
Yeah, we've helped save thousands of lives.
But some people still don't buckle up.
So let's hit it!
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
It is 20 after 8 right now. A Pennsylvania girl's fight to keep her hot dog stand is keeping her in hot water with public health officials. Some say it's much ado about nothing. 11-year-old Danielle McCarthy ran into trouble because her hot dog cooker didn't meet hygienic standards. Then officials found out she didn't have a license. Then the health department accused her of improper food handling. So she wound up fighting in court. Now the health department has agreed to help fix her hot dog problems.
I'm very happy about the outcome, and I think the judge made a very good decision. And I was nervous when I first came into the...
Now Danielle is back in business.
That's good. If you love a bargain, do we have some good news for you? Prices are going up at many stores, and that means a lot of people are turning to outlets to buy everything from clothes to furniture. As CNN's Don Harrison reports, you can even get designer labels at bargain basement prices.
Cash or charge?
$1,000 designer originals for $500. $600 earrings for 2/3 off. Sounds too good to be true, but it is. Outrageous sales by some of the world's most exclusive designers used to be one of the best-kept secrets on Manhattan's 7th Avenue, but no more. The fashion industry has opened its private doors to the public, and designer sample sales often bargain hunters a paradise from the high-priced jungle of the retail world. One woman even publishes a list of up to 250 designer sales in New York City every month.
I started the S&B report a little over 4 years ago. I always knew about these showroom sales, which are really private sales in New York, because I had friends who worked in the industry. So I would get calls in my office at 2 o'clock in the afternoon saying, drop whatever you're doing because Perry Ellis is having a sale.
Sample sales include everything from tennis sneakers to china. But these aren't seconds or irregulars. Merchandise is almost always first quality. And it's not just for women. Sample sales are good for anyone looking for a good bargain.
At showroom sales, you'll save anywhere from 50% to sometimes 80 or 90%. Merchandise is usually sold at wholesale, which is half of what it's sold in stores. But there are occasions at the end of a season where a designer will mark it down 20, 30, or 40% below that wholesale price, so you save a substantial amount of money.
Of course, store clerks will tell you the excitement of a good sale is a little much for some shoppers.
There are people who will fight over clothing, you know, and may the best person win.
And there is always at least one realist in every crowd.
The prices are good. You know, it depends on what you need. You know, if you need a warm-up, obviously the price is a good price for a warm-up. If you don't, it's not a good price.
I'm Don Harrison reporting.
It is now 8:23. Still to come on today in Florida, actor Leslie Nielsen bites the bullet.
And he's riding the naked gun to the top of the heap. We'll talk to him next.
Good times deserve the clear, crisp quality of photo processing from the Publix Photo Center.
Wednesday only. Celebrate the 4th of July holiday at Circuit City's one-day sale. Save on this Northwestern Bell cordless phone, now just $49.97. This RCA 20-inch color TV, only $179.97. And this 4-head VCR with remote and on-screen displays, just $194.97. Don't miss the one-day sale, Wednesday at Circuit City.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state-of-the-art.
4 people are dying.
I gave up one of the most joyous parts of my life.
There is yet another person who may eventually die of AIDS because her dentist gave it to her.
One of his victims talked to us.
I'm talking about saving your life.
Then, what's going on in the sky? Our weather system is breaking up, and we told you why forecasting in the future will be a risky business. It all starts again tonight, beginning at 5 on Channel 7 News.
Do you know where your contributions to the American Heart Association go? Walter Davis does.
Are you sure that's the move you want to make?
Yeah, Grandpa, I'm sure.
Research funded by the American Heart Association helped doctors save the life of someone very important to him. His grandson was born with a heart defect. Now this little boy can look forward to growing up and maybe playing checkers with a grandson of his own. You can help prevent heart disease. We can tell you how.
It is 25 after 8 right now, ready to go to the movies. The wildly funny sequel to The Naked Gun brings together the members of the original cast.
And starring in the feature role once again is Leslie Nielsen. CNN's Bella Shaw talks to him about the return of Lieutenant Frank Drebin.
A veteran of more than 60 movies, Nielsen played mostly rugged leading men and cowboys. He first worked with the team of Zucker, Abrams, and Zucker for the 1979 farce Airplane. And it was for the same production team that he created the role of the bumbling detective Frank Drebin for the short-lived television series Police Squad. The Naked Gun 2.5 reunites Nielsen with director David Zucker, a third of the comedy triumvirate.
Of course, David is bonkers. Insane. Yes.
The film also reunites Drebin with Jane Spencer, played by Priscilla Presley.
Look at her. Say, Jane. She says, Frank. How are you? I'm fine. How are the children? She said, Frank, we didn't have any children. Oh, yeah, of course. We're so dumb.
The Naked Gun style of comedy is rapid fire and calls for a high degree of accuracy. Nielsen says that it's not just the physical antics which must work, but the script and the delivery.
I don't think improv works out easily in comedy. I think it works one time out of 10. And so there's 9 times when ain't nobody laughing.
I'm sure that we can handle this situation maturely, just like the responsible adult that we are. Isn't that right, Mr. Poopy Pants?
Some things are very apparent. And, you know, you can just read it and you just know it's going to be funny. There are other things that happen that turn out to be hilarious.
And it's funny how things turn out. The rediscovered Leslie Nielsen is now a hot ticket, sought after to loan his comic presence to a number of television commercials. But for now, Leslie Nielsen is pushing his latest movie, Naked Gun 2.5.
Everybody should go and see it. I think they'll laugh.
He's funny. The movies are funny. Police Squad, Airplane, it works.
Still ahead on South Florida's news station, there's a new warning out for pregnant women.
And our Gary Nelson has a problem that's sure to give you a splitting headache. Grab an aspirin and stick around.
Spanish olives. You can snack them, cook them, salad them. But you mustn't forget them. Olives from Spain.
The best under the sun. Your South Florida Ford dealer's confidence challenge is on during the leadership celebration. Test drive a 91 Ford car or truck. If you're not convinced we're a better value and buy the competition, we'll pay you $100. That's confidence. And we're offering low financing or up to $1,600 cash back on selected models. So test drive one of America's best-built cars or trucks. Take the confidence challenge. If we're wrong, it's money in your pocket at your South Florida Ford dealer's leadership celebration.
Hi, know what I like best about being a Cheez-It? You fit in anywhere. Like watching TV. What's the score, big guy? And a picnic. Let's go! Whee! Doing homework. Now that's food for thought. Even at a swell party. May I have the next dance? Yep, this square was made to get around. Cheez-It, America's favorite cheese snack cracker that fits in anywhere. From Sunshine.
Roaches. We see them, chase them, and spray them. But they keep coming back. Well, now there's a better way. Introducing new Powerhouse Roach Treatment. With Powerhouse, you spray baseboards and cabinets, not roaches, providing a layer of protection that kills for up to 3 full months, even killing roaches you can't see. New Powerhouse from Red Circle. Finally, long-lasting roach protection for your home.
Spanish olive oil from those sunny Spanish olives. So light and delicate. More European cooks cook with it. Olive oil from Spain.
The best under the sun.
Look for Sensat.
You're watching South Florida's news station, WSVN 7. This is Today in Florida.
Police say a drunk driver killed a pregnant woman and her unborn baby.
Vietnam veterans are getting new benefits in their health insurance.
And there's new trouble brewing for the makers of a controversial drink. Good morning, I'm Baron Black.
And I'm Charles Molyneux. Police in New York say a drunk driver is a killer. A pregnant woman and her unborn child died when a car plowed into a crowd of people. Now the driver of that car could face more charges than just drunk driving. Kelly Wright has the story.
It was sheer panic.
8 women just getting off of a bus on their way to work or school when out of nowhere, a car careened down the sidewalk, striking them. Police say Stanley Stanislawski was driving while intoxicated and that he made his car a deadly weapon.
When I was getting off the bus, the car was coming out of control and it hit the bus and it hit the people behind me, and I fell and I ran back up.
14-year-old Edwina Charles was lucky. She escaped with a scratch on her arm and bruises on her side. 18-year-old Michelle Searing's leg was broken.
I just remember a gray car coming up on the sidewalk and everybody running and screaming, and that's it. It's crazy. And it all happened so fast. Five seconds, it was over.
3 of the 8 women were critically injured, all with multiple trauma. One was 7 months pregnant. She and her fetus died. Meanwhile, relatives of another critical victim, 17-year-old Dina Tomlinson, rushed to the hospital. Nadine Harris, her cousin, had been with her when tragedy struck.
I was the first one to come off the bus, and I ran into a wall, and Deanna was the second one, and she got hit, and then everybody was coming off. He threw everybody around the corner. One went in the street, a pregnant lady. She must have went in the back, hit her head.
Police arrested Stanislawski at the scene. They say his alcohol level topped the scale of the legal limit. The victims who were able to speak to me about this incident say that this is a situation that should have never happened. It could have been prevented. And they add it's a valuable lesson to others that one should never drink and drive.
That's Kelly Wright reporting from New York.
A 4-year-old girl who is a quadriplegic has won the largest medical malpractice award in California history. Ashley Hughes was paralyzed at birth when obstetricians severed her spine with forceps. Well, doctors later admitted they covered up the mistake and told Ashley's parents the girl had a hereditary disease. A jury awarded the child $21 million. Vietnam veterans have won a battle in their war to get disability benefits for illnesses caused by exposure to Agent Orange. Those suffering from a nerve disorder will now receive disability benefits from the government. But those suffering from lung cancer and other problems still will not. The government says there is not enough evidence linking other medical problems to Agent Orange. The chemical was used by U.S. soldiers during the Vietnam War as a defoliant. Veterans say it has caused a number of health problems, including lung cancer. Last year, some vets were awarded benefits for 2 other types of cancer.
A Jacksonville woman says bad water caused her daughter's cerebral palsy.
Name your price on leather furniture, wall units, dining rooms. Monday, July 8th, it's over. Get to VIP now in Northwest 8 and Lauderhill.
People are dying.
I gave up one of the most joyous parts of my life.
There is yet another person who may eventually die of AIDS because her dentist gave it to her.
One of his victims talked to us.
I'm talking about saving your life.
Then, what's going on in the sky? Our weather system is breaking up, and we told you why forecasting in the future will be a risky business. It all starts again tonight, beginning at 5 on Channel 7 News.
There's no snow, and Christmas isn't until December, but you can be a summer Santa. Needy families can use your help all year long. Make a donation of canned foods or toys at any Sun Bank. WSVN 7 and these sponsors want you to spread Christmas cheer this summer.
This July 4th is a special one when we reflect on the year we've had and what a year it's been. A war and a victory, a year we'll never forget. To the soldiers of Desert Storm and you, America, happy 4th of July from Channel 7.
It is 8 to 9 right now. 4 famous frozen faces are now 50. Tomorrow, historians will celebrate the golden anniversary of Mount Rushmore. The faces of President Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Teddy Roosevelt were sculpted out of a mountain's rock. They have become some of the nation's most popular tourist attractions.
Let's check in one more time with Tom Burse for the latest on our weather. Tom, more rain. Carry the umbrella.
Little bit. We're going to see showers and thunderstorms becoming likely today, and things have settled down out there right now. Let's take a look at temperatures and see what's going on. We're around 80 in Miami, 82 Homestead, 82 Hollywood, and 81 Plantation, 88% humidity right now, still pretty high, and surf temperature 85 degrees. We're going to be up around 90 today, about 92 tomorrow, and still around 90 all the way into the weekend. Good chance for rain today, pretty good chance yet tomorrow, and then we'll keep those afternoon and evening storms under partly cloudy skies in there all the way into the weekend. So far in Miami, we've had 44/100ths of an inch of rain. Fort Lauderdale, 11/100, so it keeps coming down.
And we need it, and we thank you. Charles?
Here's some of the stories we've got coming up later today on Channel 7 News. The prime suspect for the Gainesville student murders will head to court today. The charges aren't related to the killings, but it could affect the case. And we've seen the disturbing videotape of a beating in Detroit. We'll take a closer look at the problem of violence. Those stories and more are on the way today on Channel 7 News.
And finally, scientists from all over the world are giving Washington, D.C. a big pain. Gary Nelson tells us why in today's Nelson's News.
Congress is meeting in Washington this week.
Mr. President.
No, not this Congress. No, this week the International Congress on Headaches is meeting in Washington. That's right. This is not a joke. Scientists from all over the world are meeting in Washington this week to talk about headaches. Makes sense they'd meet in Washington, doesn't it? Every time I look at my pay stub and see how much money I'm sending to Washington, I get this gosh awful headache.
Agonizing, real agonizing.
We Americans get agonizing headaches.
Somebody's inside my head pounding against the top of it.
Headaches that pound our heads.
It just feels like somebody sucks something out of your brain.
We get brain-sucking headaches.
All over my cheeks and my forehead and, you know, like an elephant sitting on your face.
You know, like an elephant sitting on your face. We Americans don't like elephants sitting on our faces, so we take something for it.
Tylenol.
We take Tylenol.
Advil.
Or Advil.
Bufferin.
Or Bufferin. In fact, one of the biggest problems we Americans face is figuring out what to take for our headache. Just look at all this. You got your Nuprin, Advil, Tylenol, Motrin, Excedrin, Anacin, Bayer, BC, and Bufferin. With all that competition, of course, you got to offer something extra. Why use regular strength Tylenol when you can have extra strength Tylenol? Excedrin has extra strength, so does Bufferin. Anacin offers maximum strength. I think Anacin has the strongest adjective there, maximum. New is also a big word among painkillers. Bufferin has the new easy open cap. Tylenol has new gelatin-coated gel caps and new Tylenol PM. If it's new, I guess it must be good. Anacin, again, though, goes them all one better. New and improved. Improved kind of goes without saying, though, wouldn't you think? If it's new, you just naturally figure it's improved, of course. You wouldn't see somebody come out with something new, but not quite as good. We Americans, too, are very concerned, apparently, about swallowing. That's why Tylenol has easy-to-swallow caplets and new, easier-to-swallow tablets. And Anacin is now improved for easier swallowing. I never realized swallowing could be so difficult. Well, I gotta find something for this headache. Let's see, new, super, whoop-de-doo, extra, maximum, salt-free? Salt-free aspirin. I tell you,
He can make a story out of anything, Gary.
Well, how far have we come? I don't get headaches. I give headaches. That's today in Florida. Thanks for joining us.
Stay with Channel 7 for all the day's news. Have a good day.